So today, the big key today is going to be finding the angles. Okay, 1, 8, 19. So to find the angles, we are going to push the inverse button, okay? And the inverse button is either sine inverse or cosine inverse or tangent inverse. On your calculator, your inverse buttons are the blue. They're the blue buttons. You've got the sine inverse right there. It's the blue buttons. You've got the cosine inverse. And you've got the tangent. Those are push the button, get the angle button. That's push the button, get the angle button. Got it? Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at example 1. So what I'm going to do is just first of all just try and draw this. So XY axis. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and graph it. I'm going to start at 0, 0 is C. There's C. 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's A. And 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is B. Now, I purposely picked this one because you don't need to use the calculator to get the angles. Not all. Because in this figure, what we have is basically half a square, don't we? I mean, it's 4 and 4. So there's two ways to do this problem. One is to recognize it's half a square, so we cut 90 in half, 45, 45, or to recognize that sure enough, it does fit that special right triangle right there. Okay, so you don't need a calculator. 4 and 4, we know angle A is 45 degrees, and angle B is also 45 degrees, okay? This is our special right triangle. Didn't need any calculator, didn't need a trig inverse button at all, okay? So far, easy, right? So let's look at 2. 2 should be another one of these. Let's graph 2 and see what we get. So I'm going to go ahead and put my y-axis down and my x-axis down. C is at 0, 0. A is at 6, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is A. And B is at 0, 3. Okay, and I picked this one on purpose again because it's one of our special right triangles, okay? I already know the angles are 30, 60, 90. How do I know that? This side is 6, and this side is 3. If we have a triangle, kids, you listening?
Yes.
If we have a triangle where the hypotenuse is twice as big as the short leg, 6 and 3, right? The hypotenuse is twice as big as short leg. It forces it to be this special right triangle. So the angles are easy, okay? That's just going to be my 30 degrees and my 60 degrees, okay? Didn't need any trigonometry. I just used my special right triangles, okay? On your test on Friday, you're going to have a couple of different triangles that will be special right triangles, okay? They're easy. You don't need trigonometry. You just need to use those two special triangles, okay? Now, C's third one's going to be a little different. Let's graph this one, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and draw it in. And I'm going to have C at 0, 0. A at 3, 0. And B is 0, 4. All right, now this triangle is not a special right triangle, okay? I know this side is 4 and this side is 3. So if we're going to have to find the angle. I know for sure that I'm going to have to use the inverse, so listen carefully. Here's how it works. First, yes, Zoe?
Julia pointed out that it's X, Y. Did you do it backwards? Or on the second one? Because you did. I mean, which, yeah.
Oh, did I do it backwards? I did. That's good. Same triangle, though. Yeah, thank you, Julia. Good. You're right. Thank you. Nice job, Annika. Okay, let's go back to 3. Now, here's how you do it. First of all, pick an angle. There's actually two. There's A or B, but you can pick either one. Aunt Lana, which one do you want? A or B? It doesn't matter.
The 90?
No, you can't pick the 90, okay? Pick an angle, not the 90, okay? Because we already know the 90, right? We already know the 90. So angle B, okay? Okay. So pick an angle. We're going to pick angle B. It does not matter which one you pick, okay? Torrin, Quinn, here we go. So then use the two given sides. Okay, the two given sides I have are the 3 and the 4, right? Okay. Okay, name those. Okay, so this is my, from angle B, this is my opposite side. This is my adjacent, okay? So pick an angle to solve for. We picked angle B. Then use the two given sides. 3 and the 4 are my two sides I know. I know those numbers. Those numbers are given. The name of the 3, this side, is the opposite because it's opposite of the angle B that Len picked, and this side's the adjacent side, right? I don't know the hypotenuse, but I don't need to, okay? Now, which trig ratio? So choose the correct trig ratio. Okay, so if I pick the correct trig ratio, I've got the opposite and the adjacent. So I look up there, rigor with tangent, it's got to be the tangent, okay? So the tangent ratio says this. It's going to say take the tan, I'll do the work up here, I'm going to take the tan of theta equals the opposite over the adjacent, right? So in this case, not theta, but b. Because theta, this symbol means angle, right? And the angle I want to find is b. So I'm going to rewrite theta as b because it's angle b. The opposite is 3, and the adjacent is 4. So I'm going to rewrite this as tangent of b equals 3 over 4. Now,
Wait, but don't we need the inverse?
you're ahead of me. I'm going to do that next, okay? So Zoe's right. So what I'm going to do is, since I have to find the angle, I'm going to rewrite this as tangent inverse of 3 over 4 equals angle B. And I'm going to use my calculator. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my calculator. Okay, I will. Okay. So I need to find the angle, right? So I use the inverse button.
Then why did you write it that way?
Because the tangent of 3/4 gives me angle B. This inverse will give me an angle. What angle am I going to find?
So you wrote it that way because it was the inverse.
Right. So this will give me angle B, so I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to go into tangent inverse, 3 divided by 4, and I get about a 36.9 degrees. So angle B is a 36.9 degrees. Okay, thumbs up?
No.
Okay, we're going to turn the page, and we're going to do a problem, another problem, right? Okay, turn the page. So, here we go. Solve this right triangle, okay? Again, we must use the inverse button to find an angle, okay? Steps. So step 1, let's write this down. 1, pick an acute angle to solve for. Okay, pick an acute angle. Don't pick the 90. We already know that one. Pick an acute angle. And it doesn't matter in this case which one you pick first. You can either pick P or I. Which one do you want to use? I.
I knew you were going to do that.
Okay, we're going to pick I. It does not matter, by the way, okay? So what happens is this. If we picked P, that would be my opposite, and that would be my hypotenuse. If we pick I, it's just, that's my adjacent. That's my hypotenuse, right? So it's just the other trig function, okay? Step 2, use the two given sides. Okay? So I know my 14 and I know my 10, right? Let's name them. Let's give them names, okay?
Little g.
Little g is correct, but let's call it the hypotenuse. No, you're totally right, but let's call it the hypotenuse and the adjacent, okay? No, you're right. Little g and little p is right. Okay, so 3, set up the correct trig ratio. Okay? Okay, so the correct trig ratio in this case is cosine.
Yes.
Okay? So I'm going to set up cosine of angle I equals my 10 over 14, right? Cosine, adjacent hypotenuse. But I need to use the inverse button to get my answer. So step 4, use, and I'm going to call it trig inverse. The reason I use trig is because it could be sine, it could be cosine, it could be tangent. So I use the word trig, okay? In this case, I'm going to go cosine inverse of 10/14, and that will equal angle I, right? That gives me the angle, which is angle I. So I'm just going to use my calculator, and we're going to go clear. I'm going to go cosine inverse of 10 divided by 14, and I get an answer about 44.4 degrees. Cosine inverse, 10 divided by 14, I get about 44.4 degrees. So angle I is equal to about 44.4 degrees, the measure of angle I, okay? Easy. Now, let's put that in, because it says solve. I got to solve this triangle. I got to solve the whole thing. So if this is 44.4 degrees, yeah. Now it gets easy. Angle P, I just heard Annie say it. To find the other angle, we'll just subtract from 90, right? Those two angles have to add up to 90. So step 5, I'm going to go 90 minus, I call it theta, to get the other angle. So I'm going to go theta, 90 minus theta. Theta is my angle, right? In this case, it's angle B. Theta just means angle. In this case, it's angle B. So 90 minus 44.4 degrees. And I get an answer about 45.6. So that's angle P. Okay, so far so good. And then finally, I've got to find this third side, which is little I, okay? I got to find this third side, little I, two ways. One is to use trigonometry. I could use sine to get it, or I could use Pythagorean's theorem, right? Either way. Either I could use opposite of hypotenuse, right? I could use tangent, opposite over adjacent, or I could use Pythagorean's theorem, okay? I'm going to put down Pythagorean's theorem because you guys are very familiar with that, okay? So then step 6, a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find third side. Okay, so then I would go 10 squared plus I squared equals 14 squared, right? To find the third side. Pythagorean theorem. There it is. Pythagorean. So 14 squared minus 10 squared. And if I square root that, I get an answer of about 9.8. So little I is about 9.8. Okay? All right? So, let me stop the recording. I've got one more for you. Now I want you to take out your journal.